Welcome to Lizards of the Toast. And does everybody want to see the new Secret Lair deck? Not me, because I have my own Secret Lair deck here. And you're going to really love this one. This is Lily Bowen Raging Grandma for our Fallout Secret Lair here. We wanted a new Vegas one, but we couldn't do it. So, this is just a, let's call it a Fallout Secret Lair. Look at that. There's no secret about how treasurely that treasure is. Look at that. Is that an NCR dollar? I just can't tell. All right. Anyways, we have Lily Bowen Raging Grandma. For 3 and a green, you get Lily Bowen. She has Vigilance. Lily Bowen Raging Grandma enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it. On her, not it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on Lily Bowen if its number is 16 or less. Otherwise, remove all but 1/1 counter from it. Then you gain 1 life for each +1/+1 counter removed this way. So, we're talking commander damage there. So by the time you'll be removing those 1/1 counters, that'll be a great boost in life gain. But just because we're removing all the counters doesn't mean that Lily Bowen's going to be a 1/1. So let's look at that. Look at, and there's our taxed Lily. So if we get taxed, we flip it around. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Thank you, Mr. D, and other Mr. D for that. We really love it. All right, so let's get into the base. The mana base. Just kidding. Mana producing creatures we have here are Llanoware Elves. Add a green. We have Findhorn Elves. Add a green. We have Mr. Gutsy here. Look at him. See, I told you it was a Fallout Secret Lair. Hello, sir. What can I get you today, sir? Mr. Gutsy would like to give you service today, sir. Well, no thank you, Mr. Gutsy. I don't think we need any service today. We have everything we need. Whenever you cast an aura or equipment spell, put a 1/1 counter on Mr. Gutsy. When Mr. Gutsy dies, create X junk tokens, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on it. So, that's good. He's like a dude we can make a bunch of tokens with, but more or less, we have a lot of auras and equipment, so Mr. Gutsy can get big quick, and it's not like we want to have him die just to get junk tokens. So here we have the Cathedral Acolyte. Look at that guy, man. He's down there you remember these guys in the Fallout game? Anybody? Do you remember? Do you? They were down there like, oh, praise Atom. Atom creates life. Oh, Master evolved me to perfection. Lily Bowen would approve, though. That's like the Lily Bowen baptism there. She'd be like, you go down there and accept Atom's grace in the nice bath of nuclear energy. But guess what? Each creature you control, the counter on it has Ward 1. That's not bad. And everything is going to have counters. This can tap and put a +1/+1 counter on target creature that entered the battlefield this turn. And oh my gosh, they won't last long. They'll be ghouls. All become ghouls. All right. Let's take this down a notch, shall we? Okay, perfect. I like that better. We have the Fanatic of Ronus. Now, I play a playset of these in a Stompy deck. For Modern, these are so good. So tap it, add 1. So it pays for itself. I know it doesn't have haste, so it doesn't necessarily pay for itself. But being a mana dork like that is so good. So you can add 4 green, activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. We almost always will be, very quickly. And to eternalize this, exile this card from your graveyard and create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie snake druid with no mana cost. Eternalize only as a sorcery. So, it's returnable. We can get it back as the token. That's really good. Now here is a little graveyard hate. Look at that. Secret Lair. See? Oh my goodness. Now this is a Fallout Secret Lair as well. Wink, 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 wink. Sure it is. Sure, that's a Fallout ooze. Look at that. You can tell by the animation it's Fallout. Shut up. Some days it just feels like trash. Other days it could really go for some people. That's so funny. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a 1/1 counter on Scavenging Ooze and you gain 1 life. So, we can go willy-nilly with this and exile things. We're going to have a lot of extra mana from our mana dorks. And look at here. This, you guys have seen this on the channel since the channel has been formed. And I have had this card for a long time. Longer than I would care to admit. So, if Elvish Spirit Guide is in your hand, you may remove it from the game to add 1 green to the mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt and or instant for you young people. We have the Scrounging Deathclaw, because it's a Deathclaw. Why else now? Not just that, because it's Commander. It's a Lurgoyf, it's green, its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. So, essentially, if we go last on turn 1, playing our cards right, let's see here. Yeah, we could almost have potentially like a 6/6 or a 7/7 by turn 2 when we can play the Deathclaw. So that's good. Here we have the Ornery Tumblewag. Look at that. That is quite a forward saddle on that beast there. This is a mount. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It's 2 and a green. When Ornery Tumblewag attacks while saddled, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature. So, of course, Lily Bowen, who is going to be dressed up pretty with, Grandma's got some new shoes. Ever since my husband, Harold Bowen, died, I like to go dancing. So, yes, Grandma, we know you have nice shoes. Yes, she does very nice, and she keeps them spotless. Yeah. So, Ornery Tumblewag saddled can double Grandma's power. And we can saddle it with our weenie creatures if we don't need the mana. We can pretty much saddle it with anything. It's no big deal. We have Reclamation Sage. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. This, in my metagames, there's a lot of like annoying things that this can target. So I like it, but it's not the best thing. And that being said, it's not really bounced in this deck. I wish it was, but I thought if I used a Kogla situation in this, it would just lead to bringing the deck in a bad direction. Because at its heart, this is kind of like a Voltron deck. Because everything just helps Grandma. Speaking of Grandma, we have a Watchful Radstag here. It's an Elk Mutant for 2 and a green with Evolve. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. Now, this is what's great. Whenever Watchful Radstag evolves, create a token that's a copy of it. So, that's very cool because those tokens are going to have that ability too. And the way this is going to be, it's going to be getting bigger, and creating tokens. So, we have a Rampaging Yaoguai. X, 3 green. It's a bear mutant. It's a 2/2. It's a bear. Of course it's a 2/2, right? Look at that thing. Oh, those things were scary. So when Rampaging Yaoguai enters the battlefield, destroy any number of target artifacts and or enchantments with mana value X or less. So we can choose what ones we want to do. That's really good. Rampaging Yaoguai enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. I mean, just so good. Oh, I love this card. It's a Mario. No, it's not. It's a Tanuki, though. Whenever Tanuki Transplanter or equipped creature attacks, add an amount of green equal to its power until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. That's great. You can attach it to something. Attach to target creature you control or unattached from a creature. Reconfigure only as a sorcery, while attached it isn't a creature. It's an interesting card. There's certain things about this card I actually have liked it in different format with a lower mana cost and maybe a little more stipulation. Just it's very being an equipment dog like that. It's pretty versatile. Now Kona Rescue Beastie. The beginning of your second main phase of Kona Rescue Beastie is tapped. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. This is like the third in line commander. This is one you'll tutor up sometimes just to... Very good. I mean, putting those permanent cards down, even if they're just a few mana. Now, we have Ivy Lane Denizen for the most Lizards of the Toast jankiest combo in history. I don't need to say it, I think, but we'll keep it outside. We'll explain what it is. Even though I've explained it like 3 times, but it's been a couple years, I think, since I explained it. But I'm sure almost everybody already knows. Sky Knight gear? Well, I have Drake Skin Gauntlets, supple and fireproof, or a Ceratok chestplate that'll stop a crossbow bolt. Well, aren't you headstrong, my friend? Aren't you sure? He's cocksure and green of horn. So, green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Lots of those green creatures, but there's only one we care about, and we'll get to that. So, we have Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater costs 2 less to cast. Whenever Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 against trample until end of turn. Ow. Okay, so it's good. Dropping this early is great. Taking that cost away of things, we can steamroll our opponents with that out. Especially if we attach something to it. Which we have plenty of things. I can't wait to get to Grandma's attachments. Don't talk about Grandma's attachments. Grandma's attached to a lot of things. She's a hoarder. Sorry, Grandma, but we're going to get it out in the open. You're a hoarder. Wait till you see all the things Grandma has. So the Hulking Raptor, Ward 2, at the beginning of your pre-combat mad phase, add 2 green. Because we're a little light in the mana base. We want a lot of mana production. Look at this thing. This is what happens when you... See that guy? We showed you the Acolyte? This is what happens when the Acolyte comes out of the pool after it's baptized in the nuclear glow of Adam. Where it is now a questing beast with 3 heads that argue amongst themselves. See, this head always tells this one, you need to eat something, get some skin on your bones. And this one says, ugh, you too. So anyways... Questing Beast has Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. That's beautiful. So we can actually hang some equipment on this thing too. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. That's important. Whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker that player controls. Not seeing a lot of Planeswalkers in modern Commander these days. We have Sereth, the Viper's Fang. Now this, tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. And you can pay 1 and untap target creature or land you control. So with her out, not only will our creatures get that bump of Death Touch, but also we can untap Grandma to give her Hexproof. So she can't be bothered. Grandma doesn't need to be bothered with all the horrors of the world every day. That's why she doesn't watch the news. She reads books and watches murder, she wrote. With the Alvinwald Oddity, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It has Trample, it has Haste. For 5 and 2 green, we transform it into a Trampling Haste Behemoth that is an 8/8 and such a mutant to it. It really fits in the universe of our Secret Lair Fallout deck. Other creatures you control get that too. So +1/+1, they have Trample and Haste. You can't beat it with a stick, buddy. We have the Bighorner Rancher. Look at him, Human Ranger. A settlement is in distress. Vigilance, tap, add an amount of green equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So if we add mana, like Lily if she's like a 10 or whatever, adding that mana, 10 mana, I mean, it's not Selvala Heart of the Wild's cool, but it's cool to be casting big things. So, and it has Vigilance 2/5. Sacrifice it, gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures you control. So that's pretty dang good because we're going to have some big tough creatures. Now here's a fun card, Loyal Guardian. Look how cute. I love rhinos. You tell me, who could hunt that? Who could hunt a rhino? Sick people out there, sick people. Each scar on its hide is a badge of honor. Trample. It's Lieutenant at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control your commander, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. We like racking them up. They're like casino bonuses, right? The Bellowing Tangleworm. It's 5 mana. It's 4/4. That's not good. But what is good is it has Intimidate. It can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. Other green creatures you control have Intimidate. Very important. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, Herd Baloth, Ivy Lane Denizen. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Herd Baloth, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield into your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So, play our elf, play the Baloth. Creature's going to enter. And, is that how we do that? Let me think. Yeah. Herd Baloth triggers from the 1/1 counter being put on it. We create a 4/4 beast token. Then that triggers a 1/1 counter on target creature, and we throw that back to Baloth. So 1/1 counter here, create a beast, 1/1 counter, beast, 1/1 counter, beast. You get it. You get the idea. We get a whole lot of them things. All right. I think it's, yeah, 4/4 green beast. So that's what that's all about. Now, I really like this card. I was excited. I find this card to be real good. I think it'd be so cool if there's a legendary creature that was kind of like this. I think there might be, but it's not in these colors. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many 1/1 counters on it. That's so good. 4 and 2 green. I know that's steep, but in this deck, it's not. It doesn't have to be that steep. So you may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from among creatures you control in addition to paying its other costs. That is great. So if this is discarded or something, or if it's just in the graveyard, we'll have things with so many counters, just like Lily. I mean, it's no problem taking 6 counters off Lily. That's here, neither here nor there. This has reach. This is Kodama of the East tree. And look at that. I want all the Kodama trees in here. I wish I could have a deck with all of them, but they just don't all work. Whenever another permanent you control enters, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser mana value from your hand onto the battlefield. Pretty good. And yeah, it's 6. It's 6/6, has reach. Really no downside to that. All right. So let's see here. What do we have? Elder Gargarath. Vigilance, reach, trample. It's 3. It's 2 green, so it actually should be in front of the Kodama of the East tree. So Vigilance, reach, trample. When the Gargarath attacks or blocks, choose one. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You gain 3 life or draw a card. Really good, really good. Now, this is where it gets fun. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each counter among players and our permanents. I've been playing this thing for 2 mana so much, it's so great. Lumbering Mega Sloth enters the battlefield tapped, though. But it's an 8/8 with trample, and you can play it for 2. This doesn't enter the battlefield tapped, and this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. It's 2 mana. It's a 12/12 with trample. What more can you say? Put some Swiftfoot boots on there. Put a little bit of the, was that the Hellspur boots? We have Soul Ring. Oh, look at the secret lair. See? Secret Fallout lair. Oh, man. I did it. Wizards let me do it. Oh. Tap and add 2 colorless. Or void. Whatever. Whatever. All right. Arcane Signet. Tap, add 1 mana of any color in the commander's entity. It's pretty much given. Now, this one's fun. Now, this is to keep our other things. Let somebody waste something to remove this. I mean, it's not like it's going to shut down the game, really. Players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step, but we play this, and it'll keep people off hurting our other artifacts. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvise, so that means your artifacts can help cast them. So tap an artifact, but you can't, like, tap an artifact and be like, oh, I'm going to tap this for mana and do this. So, see, it says each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities. So, you can't double tap it, or as it were, double stack. But yeah, I mean, again, 3 mana. So, by turn 4, use that. And it's saving you. You're getting some value out of it. Lava Spur boots. That's right, not Hellspur. These boots were made for more than walking. Well, what more? What? Haste, making people walk fast, I guess. All right, but you get Ward 1. But this is great. It's 1 mana. It's got an equip cost of 1. Play it early, and that means when you play something, it's just 1 mana on top of that to get that thing hasty. Oh, Naginata. Look at that's Grandma's old husband, Roy. That was the 5th husband. He died. Oh, Naginata can be attached only to a creature with 3 or more power. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 and has trample. That trample is real important in this deck. We want everything to have trample all the time. Very important. And equip cost is 2. So 3, pretty good. Pretty good. We have a Pip-Boy. Of course we do. How could we not have a Pip-Boy? Even though I don't like saying Pip-Boy. So that's the last time I'm going to say P-Boy. All right, P-Boy. Artifact equipment. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, choose one. Sort inventory. Draw a card, then discard a card. Yeah. Pick a perk. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Check map. Untap up to 2 target lands. Oh, I love that untapping of lands. And that's especially good if you got some instants in your hand and you want to do something in that direction. Now here's a real exciting one. Grandma loves this. Grandma loves a Sunday hat. Equipped creature can't be blocked except by walls. Equip cost is 2. So for 4, you have an unblockable grandma or an unblockable other thing, because you can hang things on other things, because you're going to have other big creatures that do wonderful things. So feel free, hang things on those. Here's a forgotten card. It's a common. And Vorek Battlehorns in dog here. Equipped creature has trample and can't be blocked by more than one creature. What more can you say? If you got a 32/32 grandma, equip 1, attach to target creature you control. Can't beat it. Equipped creature has hexproof, and haste. Pay 1, equip 1. This is way better. Anybody that has played CEDH knows how much better Swiftfoot is than the Shroud Boots. We do not like Lightning Greaves when we want to do things to our commander. Equipped creature, and hexproof and haste, though, that's real nice. Hexproof good, Shroud bad. Look at these. Grandma, are these your afternoon hike in the park boots? That's right. I stepped in some green goo. Oh, Grandma, that fell out of your face. Equipped creature has non-basic land walk. Can't be blocked as long as the defending player controls a non-basic land. They always do. Equip cost is 2. So again, yeah, a cheap equip cost. Right, Grandma? And here's where Grandma, when she goes a prospect and in the Wasteland, because she's also a Wasteland prospector, even though she doesn't get around as much as she used to. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Oh, a treasure. Equip cost 1. I mean, that's cheap. We can do it. Oh, look at that. Jeez, treasurely. Look at that treasure. Look at that. Look at that NCR money there. I'm just kidding. That's old world money. NCR money. Come on. All right. We have Bramble Armor. 1 and a green. Bramble Armor enters the battlefield. Attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. So it's 2. You can equip it for free when it enters, and then it stays, which is cool. Now this one. This is good. So we got a 3 mana. Equipped creature has +2/+2. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has hexproof. Again, 4 mana to do it all, but usually we can play that on the next turn, then equip it for the 1. We have Fire Shrieker. Look at that. The Flamer is specially engineered flamethrower suited for extended combat engagements. It delivers sustained energy damage and completely immolate a target. So that's pretty good. Equipped creature gets double strike. That's lethal. Grandma goes, bing, bing, you're dead. Bing, bing, you're dead. Again, 5 mana to equip that one, but we're going to have a lot of mana. Last 2 games I played, this was in my opening hand. It's in your opening hand. You begin with it on the battlefield. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. It has an equip cost of 3. Now, if it's not in your opening hand, that's something. But if it is in your opening hand, it's 3 mana to equip. That's good. And really, with the way this deck gets mana heavy, it's not that bad. After turn 4, you equip this. That's a game ender as well. Now, Rancor, love this card in the deck because we enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0. Has trample. When Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. So that's one we can just keep flipping and flopping and flippity-doo. Got Spider Umbra, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has reach. Those are all good things because there's a lot of flyers in Commander. But we have Totem Armor. If the enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. That's protection for Grandma. Because Grandma, she's got dirty, dusty old bones full of green dust, and we can't have her getting hurt and breaking bones and that green dust getting everywhere. Then everybody'd be infected. We have Wild Growth, Enchant Land. Enchanted land is tapped for mana. Its controller adds an additional green. This is to bug our friends. 1 and a green, enchant creature, not our creature. When Kenrith's transformation enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green elk creature with base power and toughness, a 3/3. We have the Ordeal of Nylea. This is 1 and a green, enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more 1/1 counters on it, sacrifice this aura. And when you sacrifice this aura, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Pretty dang good. Pays for itself when you sacrifice it. We have the Lion Umbra. Enchant modified creature with counters, anything like that, auras, equipment. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, has vigilance and reach. Very good. Another reach enabler, and if enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. Grandma likes her auras. She's a spiritualist. Aren't you, Grandma? You like auras? The air around ya. The aura. This enchant creature with Moldervine cloak. More 2 and a green. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, and it has dredge. So that dredge is really good too, unless somebody blows up your graveyard. Curse of Predation. Now, another mean one for our opponents, and it's good for us too. So enchant player, whenever a creature attacks enchanted player, put a 1/1 counter on it. Yeah, it's going to help our opponents, but one player is not going to be happy. Blanchwood Armor. Oh boy. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. So turn 6. So we got like 4 or 5 forests. That's pretty good. So pretty much its value. Season of Growth. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, which we're doing a lot of, draw a card. Beautiful. Now this is weird. This is Master Chef, but it is not a chef. It's a legendary enchantment. Commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. And other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. It's going to ensure that our creatures always have counters on them. That's pretty much what this does. Every time I play this, people think this is like a blocking thing because Master Chef, like, come on, you never thought rations was an appropriate term for the feast that you prepare for your party. I don't know. Maybe I'm like missing something, but it is like a person. It's supposed to be like us, right? Like we're the Master Chef, I think, like because it can be used as like a partnered commander. Let's see here. All right. Now, Elemental Bond is really good in this deck because command tax, overriding the command tax is super good in decks like this, Voltron type decks. Whenever a creature with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card and get your pencils. We're going to be drawing a lot. All right, we have Worldly Tutor. This is the most expensive card in the deck. Search your library for a creature card and reveal that card to all players. Shuffle your library and put the revealed card back on top of it. This is to get our gang of super beasts and get the one we need. Now, more Grandma protection. Those who move harmoniously with the flow of ether can channel the power of the natural world. And actually, Grandma has a scooter, right, Grandma? You have a scooter, right? It's a hover round. Is that how you got there? To where you're going with the hover round? Hover round. So yeah, the ether, is it nuclear, Grandma? Or is it ether? It's both. A little bit of both. Huh. I don't think she knows. All right. So target creature you control gets +2/+2, gains hexproof until end of turn. That's Grandma, so she's safe. We keep Grandma safe. Royal Treatment. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Create a royal token attached to that creature, which is good. We saved Grandma or something else we might want. Plus it gets the 1/1, and then that royal token gives it Ward 1. Very cool. We have the Snakeskin Veil. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Again, protecting Grandma. Rapid Vigor. Regenerate each creature you control. That's a board wipe. You give me a board wipe and I give you that in return. And then I wipe everybody off the board. Right, Grandma? That's what we do. Grandma says no. And then she cleans house. Heroic Intervention. 1 in a green. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And look at that beautiful card. Oh, look at those low rates. Isn't that nice? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at it on the camera right now and it looks so much better on the camera. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. But That's it. That's protecting Grandma. Choose one. Each opponent. We love value like this. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. And the only thing wrong with this card is we can't play 4 of them in our commander deck because it's so dang good. What's this one? Oh my God, look at those creatures. Them creatures are bedecking themselves in leaves and angry as hell. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature that had a 1/1 counter on it, put on it this way. So we can make 2 huge things. Overload it, cast a spell for its overload cost. If you do, change the target to each. So if we do that, that is the end of the game. Time of need. Oh, search your library for a legendary creature card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So there's a few legendary creatures that we can really use, and this will get them when we want them. Road of Return. It's a great way to get around that command tax. Choose target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, or put your commander into your hand from the command zone. Why do I feel like I've already went over this card? I'm going to go back and look. I feel like I looked at that very card, but I think it was a different one that does the same thing. But I still want to see. We're going to find out. Reveal cards from the top of your library with your Cross the Paths. It's 2 and a green, but reveal a land card. Put that card into play and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So look at that. It's really 1 and a green. So, clashing with an opponent. What is that? If we win, we return this to our hand. So it's a tutor, basically, that's shuffling through and getting us our thing. So each clashing player reveals the top card of his or her library, then puts that card on the bottom or top. A player wins if his or her card had a higher converted mana cost. And we have very high mana costs, as you see. But the times we've used it, of course, we like pop up like a Llanowar elf or something. Sure, one time an opponent popped up a land. But let's talk about the mana base, because this is really easy. Command Tower, sure. Because it's Fallout. It's Fallout Secret Lair. Secret Lair alert! We have Mosswort Bridge, so we can hide away our dreams. So we can hope. This land enters the battlefield tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, and put the rest on the bottom of the library. So, tap it, add a green, boring. Green, tap. You may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater. And they really will. Rogue's Passage. Add a colorless. 4, tap. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. We have Command Beacon. Sacrifice Command Beacon. Put your commander into your hand from the command zone. Now, I believe that's the second most expensive card in the deck. Scavenger Grounds. It's an interesting card. Add a colorless. Sacrifice a desert. Exile all graveyards. The only things you need out in the wastes are food, water, and bullets. Everything else is details. We have Lair of the Hydra, so we can sink our mana somewhere. If you control 2 or more other lands, Lair of the Hydra enters battlefield tapped. You can tap it and add a green. An X and a green until end of turn. The Hydra Lair becomes an XX green Hydra creature. If it's still a land, X can't be 0, of course. Or it'll die! So now we just have the forests. I think we have 24 or 23 maybe. I think 23. And we'll look at them. They're cool. Look at that one. That's nice. Ooh, ooh, rush lands. Ooh, 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 and Nana. Look at that. Now see, that looks like the inside. That's the secret lair. This is the Fallout Secret Lair version. That's inside that plant vault. This is also Fallout Secret Lair version, and this is that one place in Fallout where the plants grew wild. That is the New Vegas. Again, inside the plant vault. I don't know what that one is. I don't have much to say about that, and that's Jurassic Park Secret Lair Fallout version. There's Fallout with a bow. There is the Obelisk of Suffering from the Secret Lair Fallout version. And this is the Secret Lair Mega Man Hands Across the Universe Secret Lair Forest version. Just kidding. All right, thank you for joining me. Now let's have a look real quick. Let's go back because I want to know what was it that I thought. I feel like Okay, it wasn't Elemental Bond. Was it Season? No. What was it? Something I saw, I totally thought. I know I did. I know it. Maybe I did look over Roto Richard. I'm going to have to review the video. I swear there was something. Maybe I saw Elemental Bond. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I saw. All right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. But that is the deck in any case. And we would really like to get some of our command group games filmed, but it's difficult because I'm having trouble getting the cards clear enough. And I think we need to add a couple microphones. But that's something we're looking at, is getting some commander games. But I'm not really too much into a commander-centric way of playing Magic. But in any case... Oh, that's going to bug me. I swear. I know there was something. I know it. Anyways, this deck will be, the description's below. You can go ahead and check it out. I used all the cheapest versions, I think, in that, in the deck description on Moxfield. But again, just go below and you'll find the description, or the link in the description. Whew, now I got to get some sleep. You guys have a good one. Oh man, that's a long video. That's a long video. Half the people are probably just gonna click on it and get the list. But it was funny. Do we not have some gems? Most people don't talk very much when they get tired. I tend to talk a lot. So that's Lily. Say bye, Lily. Bye. You kids behave now. Thank you, Grandma. Bye.